Hi, I'm Julien Héry. I'm Visual Effects Supervisor at Rodeo-FX.
I'm Scott Winthrop-Holmes, Animation Supervisor at Rodeo-FX.
And today we're going to break down Stranger Things Season 4.
Let's go! It's time!
Yeah, so Stranger Things Season 4, basically we started, a while back with, Martin Pelletier being VFX Supervisor on this show. And it was a natural move for Rodeo-FX to be involved right in the beginning of the project. Throughout the pandemic, we basically worked out all the assets, started a few full CG shots, and we ended up working on like 500 shots and all the creatures for the season.
What do you want?
For Vecna, we started from the 3D concept from Michael Mayer, the client VFX supervisor. We started to grab this concept and make it fit to Jamie Bauer, who was acting as Vecna on set. We basically make the concept fit to his morphology. And then we ended off this model to the production, who was able to 3D print it. Once it was ready, then the production 3D scanned the suits. So we had a 1-to-1 match. And then we basically worked on enhancing quite a few shots.
One of the most challenging parts about Vecna were the vines in the attic and how he interacted with them. So some of the shots in the attic are a 3D replacement, except for the head. So we kept the character's performance, but a lot of the body was painted out and replaced in order to get that to work correctly. The brothers gave us a brief about Hellraiser as a reference, so we used that, but there was a particular point where they had to implant themselves into Vecna, and it had to look painful, so we had to have that element as well, where the vines inflicted a certain amount of pain. So the vines in the attic have these hooks, so they can suspend Vecna, but in the vines in the mine layer, they don't have the hooks. They weren't as violent, I guess, in nature, although I'm sure the actress would disagree, but we didn't really approach the animation that way.
Actually, for Vecna, most of the work was enhancing the suit, adding the neck vines. So we had to body match move to the pixel each and every single shot of Vecna. And there was something that actually was always CG, was his mutated hand. We have to replace it because the on-set practical suit wasn't enabling to have a proper acting with it. So every time you see a mutated hand, it's the work of the animation team.
The Demogorgons. Yeah, we actually changed the proportions of his arms and his legs. So we had to extend, I believe the ankle we extended. And then the arms needed to be a lot longer so he could slash. So really it's a top to bottom redefinition of the Demogorgon, but this one is, I would think, like the definitive version of that character.
We had a few things in mind first, so you have to add more detail, add more muscle. Also, his environment changed. Now he's a prisoner, so we had to basically make him super lean. So his morphology has changed. I think it's for the hardcore fans to notice, what are the difference between both seasons. But I think this one really made a huge improvement in our set.
The plates had stunt actors on wires, but they were acting to nothing. There really was no green screen character acting out the Demogorgons.
On this huge banner, it was very interesting, I think, for the animation team, to be able to reverse engineer what's happening in the plate. The work of, those artists, that had to basically imagine, like, okay, is this guy being punched or is he being kicked out? Or, there's like multiple things happening and you have to a blank page to basically define what the action is going to be.
Yeah, that shot is an animator's dream, right? Like, it doesn't get much better than that.
For sure.
Yeah, I had a blast. You don't get a lot of opportunities to work on horror, more adult stuff, so this was kind of cool.